So I literally just got off of a coaching call with a client that said something that on the surface sounds really ridiculous, but you might feel this same exact way. So I've been fighting with this client to get her to start tracking her food for months, and she will not do it. Every single week, there's a new excuse on why she won't track her food. Yet she wants me to help her eat better. And this is ultimately not about a diet. It is about me teaching her, as I try to teach all my clients, how to make lifestyle changes so that eventually one day they don't have to track their food because they have created a habit around the way they eat. But as I always tell my clients, we use tracking as a means to create that habit. So then once the habit is created, we no longer have to track, but we have to start with tracking. And she said to me today, she said to me that one of the reasons why she doesn't want to track her food is because she doesn't want to become obsessed with tracking. She doesn't want to become obsessed with eating. And I told her, I said, I understand where you're coming from, but that makes no sense. And here's the reason why. I said, you don't want to be obsessed with doing something that's going to help you reach your goals. You don't want to be obsessed with doing something that's going to help you live longer, be healthier, yet you don't even realize that you are already obsessed with food. I said, you're already obsessed with eating things that are causing you to be unhappy with the way you look, you are obsessed with eating things and drinking things that are causing you year after year to continue to gain weight and be unhealthy. I said, you don't want to be obsessed about the things that will help you reach your goals, help you be healthier, but you're okay with being obsessed with the things that are leading you further away from being more fit, further away from looking the way you want to look, and further away from being healthy. I said, can you see how that does not make sense? And then she thought about it. She said, well, I never really thought that I was obsessed with the foods that I'm eating now. I said, you thought you were just addicted to eating those foods, but that addiction is obsession. You think, that's all you do is think about eating poorly. Think about eating things that you know you shouldn't be eating, or at least eating things that you shouldn't be eating as much as you're currently eating. I said, you're already obsessed with food. I said, the problem is you're obsessed with the wrong kinds of food. So you need to start becoming obsessed. If you want to get to where you want to be, you need to start being more obsessed with doing the right things and stop using that as an excuse just to be lazy. I said, you need to become more obsessed with doing the right things and less obsessed with doing the wrong things. And once you make that switch, you will start to see better results. You will start to physically feel better. You will get closer to where you want to be. So if you've ever used that as an excuse not to track your food, as I always say, and if you've been here before, you've heard me say, if you're not tracking, you're guessing. So if you've ever used that excuse before as to why you don't track your food, I'm telling you, over my 35 years in this business as a coach and a trainer, the one thing, if I could say, would be the biggest, would yield you the biggest results, it would be tracking. So if you've ever used that excuse, let me know down below in the comments. But if you need any help reaching your fitness goals, click the first link below in the description, fill out the form, and the two of us will figure out what we need to do together to get you from where you're at to where you want to be.